I want to start here with a few words from a man much greater than I. Words that were spoken 160 odd years ago in a field about 90 miles from here, commemorating the same kind of sacrifice. Those words being Abraham Lincoln's. Those words being, "The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but the world can never forget what they did here." Because it's what they did here, that's the reason we gather together today. You know, many of us in this crowd, most of us, wore the uniform of the United States of America. Many of us that wore that uniform thought about how this might be the end of our lives in combat, giving our lives for our country. But there's a difference between what we went through and what they did. We had training. We chose to go. We had time to prepare. We had time to get our heads right, knowing that we might not come home. But I want you to think about the difference between what we went through in our preparation and what these 40 individuals went through. We joined the military because we chose to. Some of us were called, some of us stepped forward, but it was our choice. They got on board Flight 93 that morning for entirely different purposes, having no idea what was in front of them in the next few minutes, in the next hour. There were people going on vacation. There were people going on business trips. They were people going home, a home that they would never see again. Because within that next few minutes, their lives, our lives, the lives of everyone in this country and around the world changed. They saw what was coming. They heard about the other two planes. They knew, I don't think there's any doubt that they knew what the plan was. They just didn't know the details. And in a matter of moments, they made the decision that we took months to come to. In our times of preparation, thinking about what it may be, they had to do it gut instinct. Those men in that field 90 miles from here, the command then was to advance to the sound of the guns. That's the command that those passengers on Flight 93 obeyed. Advance to the sound of the guns. Obey your gut instincts. Do what's right. Don't think about hoping that this might end well. That's Americans. Those kinds of gut instincts to do the right thing, they exist in so many of you. And as we gather here today to remember those 40 Americans standing up, recognizing each other by the look in their eyes, not having time to form a team or a unit like you and I did, but simply having to look in each other's eyes to see who they could depend on. We'll be leaving here in a few minutes. And as we do, as each one of you throws your leg over that bike, and we go back to this ride for the children of those men and women killed in the military, take just a moment as you settle onto the bike to give thanks to God, to give thanks to whatever you believe in, that America still raises those kinds of people that have those gut instincts that know what it means when the time comes to advance to the sound of the guns. That's what's made this country what it is. That's what's made you who and what you are. That's why you're here today to remember, because you're one of those people. But as you look over my shoulder between those two flagpoles down to that site where that plane went down, remember those 40 people. The names are here on the bench. Some of you sat in their places right now, today. Places that they could be in. But they had the right instincts. They understood advance to the sound of the guns. And they gave their lives in that understanding. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for standing with us as we honor these 40 people. Be safe as you go on down the road.